Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Vigilante and you're watching the Vigilante Effect, and as promised in the last video, which was on how to make a gaming setup, this is the detailed view of my personal gaming setup and what I came to finalize in my house, at least for now. I've looked online and I've seen other people's setups, and some people just had some amazing setups, you know, I would never even imagine having, at least not now. But this is what I'm doing with right now, and this is what I am loving. So without further ado, let me introduce you to my personal man cave. Alright, so first, let's start with this setup right here. I have my dual monitors. This is basically the computer that I use for all the editing for the videos. It's not the best computer in the world, but you know, it gets the job done. And this is the mic that I usually use. It's I think it's a Meteor, Samsung Meteor, I think is what it's called. So that's for that. And then, if you remember my old gaming setup in that store that I was working at, this is the same TV that was there that I had in the background. Now I brought it to the house, and now I'm using it, you know, right in front of me here. It's a Sharp, I think it's what is it, 32 inch? I think it's 32 inch, or 27 inch. I'm sorry, I think it's 27 inch, and it's perfect for me. I don't need anything bigger. I actually don't like playing on the big TVs because there's always that lag, and you got to switch it from, you know, from regular mode to game mode, and even when you switch it to game mode, there's still a slight lag compared to if you're playing on just a regular size TV. And this for me is perfect. I don't need anything bigger or anything smaller. So this is my HD PVR. This is what I usually record with. This desk, I love this desk. I'll get to that later. And this is my headset. It's Astro 40s headset. You know, I have the amplifier. I barely use it anymore actually, because I haven't been playing Call of Duty, or I haven't even played Battlefield or anything like that. I just really didn't have that much time. And let's get to, before I get to the games, which I'm not going to give you details, but let's get to the systems. And I'm sorry it's dark down here, but these are my systems. These are all the systems that I have. And this right here, this brown case, this is the case that I was talking about that I got from Staples. It was actually perfect for me. I was just like, wow. And it was the only one in the store, and when I asked one of the staffs if, you know, if they had any more, that, you know, they didn't even know that this was part of their store. Like, when I asked them, I was like, you know, I found this on the floor, how much is it? They had absolutely no idea. So I just felt like it was really meant for me. So yeah, so I have here my PS3 on top. This is my PS2. I kept it because even though my PS3 is backwards compatible, it doesn't actually play all of the PS2s. The only one that is supposed to play all of the PS2 games is the 60 gigabyte, the original one. But the 80 gigabyte with the four USBs and the extra, you know, slots, this one only plays some of the PS2 games backwards compatible. And I have my Nintendo 64 here. All the controls and everything like that is just stored away somewhere. This is my Sega Saturn. This was my favorite system of all time. I loved this system, and I actually got it when at the time when it just basically closed down. I remember it was out for like $100–150, and then all of a sudden it just went down to $50. And I was like, oh, let me get it, and then I bought it, or, you know, at that time my mom bought it, and I just come to find out that once I bought it, you know, they're not making any more games, and Sega's closing down. So, but I still love the system. I used to go to my friend's house all the time playing it. I just have so much memories with it. And this is my Sega Genesis. You know, I didn't really play it that much at the time that I got it, but I do have some games for it. And these are my hard drives, my external hard drives. These are where I save some of my video footage on, and my computer. And here Here's just some extra things. I have my original Game Boy right here. This is my baby. I love it. And you see the dust particle flying. And then this one, I think I got it from it was like a flea market or a garage sale or something like that, and the person was selling it for like $5, and I was like, oh, what the heck, let me just get it. And you know, I have some games here. I have some Game Boy Advance games, but unfortunately my Game Boy Advance was stolen at the time. Someone stole it. And this is a DS. I got it for like, I have never opened this, I'll tell you. But the only reason I have it is because somebody was selling it for like 15 bucks, and I was like, oh, let me see. But I never really gave it a try. I actually bought it for my sister, but you know, she doesn't really play it. So yeah, and this is an extra Wii controller right here, which means I have a Wii, it's just not in this area. And back over here, I just want to mention that this red controller, I got it with God of War Collection. It was on a sale for, I think it was $50 or $55, both of them together. At the time when they both, not both, I'm sorry, when the collection just came out. So that was definitely a steal. You know, I just jumped on that right away. It was actually during the holidays. And now to show you where I'm storing my games. Oh, this is the lovely chair. I love it. I can't ask for anything better. I just, what can I say? That's my chair. Now here, this is the first tower. Here's where I have all my PS2 games. I'm not going to go through them, it's way too long. But I might make a video on my gaming collection. Who knows? I don't know. And this is a steering wheel for, it's Logitech driving force for the PS3. This is amazing. This thing is just superb. It really feels like you're driving the car. You know, it vibrates, and especially if I'm using it with the Astro 40 headsets. Oh man, you're just really in there. If I'm playing like any fun, if the game is slightly fun, this one's gonna make it enormously fun. You know, my wife, she doesn't play video games like that, but you know, once I put this thing on, she was zooming. She was having a lot of fun. And when I was saying I was going to get back to this desk right here, I love it so much because the fact that it's enough space for me to use. If I wanted to study, of course, all this junk would have to, you know, I would turn it off and put it away. But as you can see, here's my pens and whatnot. I use it sometimes to, if I'm writing or studying, I can use this area. Also, I can use this steering wheel and place it over here, and it's perfect. You know, I don't need to have a steering chair, I mean a driving chair. You know, the pedal will be on the floor and the screen is right in front of me. You know, it's just perfect for me. I don't need anything other than that. And it's, you know, it's a cheap way. Again, like I said, this desk was all just for 50 bucks. So, you know, it has so much multi-uses to it. So that's why you got to think about these things when you're getting whatever it is that you're getting. Think about it for multiple things that you can use it for. And of course, here, this is the view of the backyard, and it's just relaxing. So like I said, it's really my man cave right here. And back here I have my Nintendo 64 games. I have my Sega Genesis games. I have, these are the the Sega Saturn games. And this is one PlayStation 2 game, but under it there's a whole bunch of PlayStation games. And up here is just a continuation of some of the PlayStation 2, and this is some of the Wii collection that I have. I don't really have that much of a Wii collection, but you know, try to collect just the best of the system. And now moving on to this area. First thing, I'm gonna get back to this right here. I'm not gonna talk about it now, because I know you might be, you know, a little bit confused. Why is there a heart there? But this is my PlayStation 3 collection right here. Again, I'm not gonna go through all of them. Just I might go through the gaming collection in another video, just so I can explain or you know, give you my brief overlook on some of the games that I've played and what I think of them. But that's just about it. I'm not gonna really go through that right now. And here's a continuation of my PS3 collection. Of course, this is my biggest collection because that's when I actually started, you know, doing any type of collection. Before that, I just had games, and you know, if I can stay on a game, like I said, I can stay playing a game for so long, for months. And this is a continuation of the Wii collection. This is Zumba. This is the thing that you use for dancing. And yeah, Dark Knight. That's not actually mine. I don't collect Blu-rays. But that's about it for that setup. Now for this was actually something my wife made with the kids that she works with. She teaches pre-K, and this was a project that she worked on with them. It says my name in Arabic. So, and this is the pen that we used to write the marriage contract. So, you know, I kept that. And this was on our honeymoon. We went to Hawaii in a restaurant, in one of the most famous restaurants over there, and they had a whole menu just dedicated to us. And the menu, this is the menu, and it says congratulations, Maimuna and Ahmed. This is my name and my wife's name, or actually the other way around. And that's basically, this is my personal area, my personal gaming setup area. And like I said in the last video, you have to have, if you're married, you have to have something that's for you and the wife. You know, this is for me mainly, but there has to be something that's an alternative that you can enjoy with your wife. That way, you keep a healthy relationship. You don't just, you know, do the things that you like and the end of story, because you're not gonna really get anywhere like that. So what we have is we have a family entertainment area, and I'm just gonna go through that real quickly. So let's go. All right, and here we are. This is the entertainment area that's for the family. It has the big screen TV, which I actually don't like to use. This is the PS3, the second PS3, and that one's just usually used for you know, like videos and whatnot. Sometimes if there's family, friends over, you know, and we want to put on FIFA or something like that, it doesn't usually get used though. And this is actually what's used the most, which is the Wii. It's a perfect placement here because we have more space to move around and to play around with it. And yeah, that's basically it. I've got the surround sound here, enjoying it. I'm loving it. And that's about it. The books, my wife's books, and some religious books. You gotta keep it balanced. So that's it. It's been the Vigilante Effect. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have a gaming setup for yourself, then feel free to post it down below. Make it as a video response. I will definitely accept it. And that's it. Let me just hear your comments. Peace. No hate, just love. And subscribe, people. Peace.
You have 5 buttons to choose from. Clicking any of them will lead to a happy place.